Hey everyone, good morning. Hope you're all doing well. I want to start this morning by just saying thank you for all the kind words and feedback that I got regarding the video. It was truly a pleasure for me doing it. I had so much fun doing it, and I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. Anyway, our devotion this morning is on listening. And the first part of that devotion, talking about the husband and wife and what the husband hears, a little bit funny, but there's a lot of truth to it. There's so many people that do not know how to listen. We've all met those people that you're talking to somebody, and by the look in their eyes, you can tell that they're not really listening. They get this glazed over look, and you know that there's something else going on inside their head, and they are not listening to a word you say. And then there's other people that are constantly looking at their phone while you're talking to them, and they get a text come in while you're talking to them, and then they answer or start answering that text. You can tell that they're not interested in talking to you, and your conversation is not important. And then there's other people that are very intent listeners. So, it runs the whole gamut. Some people are good listeners, some people are not so good listeners, and that goes for listening to people and also listening to God. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they asked me the question, how do you hear from God? And it's a really hard question to answer. I can answer the question for me, but I can't answer the question for you because God speaks to us in so many different ways. He knows the way you can hear him, and so he talks to everybody in different ways. Some people they get dreams, some people get visions. Other people, they get pictures of things, and the Lord speaks to them through those pictures. A lot of us, it's just that still small voice. And one of the main ways he speaks to every one of us is through his word. And this person that asked me that question, how does God speak to you? I followed that up shortly after by asking, do you read your Bible? And this person said, yes, I read it on Sundays, like during church, but not through the rest of the week. Well, there's a big answer to the question right there, why you're not hearing from God, because one of the main ways that he speaks to us is through his word. That is why we have his word, is because that is one of the main ways he speaks to us. So everybody hears God's voice differently. And I know for me, I find it very hard to hear God speaking to me unless I completely disconnect. I told you I went to Canmore a couple weeks ago and just disconnected from the rest of the world, no emails, texts, people, and I was very easily able to hear God speaking to me, and he spoke some very clear things to me. And it's just that still small voice. I was sitting looking at the mountains, and he just started speaking to me about my life and comparing it to the mountain, and it was just very, very cool. That's how he speaks to me, and I find it very, very hard to hear him if I don't completely disconnect. It's the same with me. I can't read a book if there's background noise. I just can't do it. Like if I can hear the TV in the background, if I can hear people talking, I can't concentrate enough to really read a book and comprehend what it's saying. And it's the same with God with me. I have to get away, get in a quiet place, and just allow him to speak to me with no other distractions, because distractions are the biggest thing that keeps us from hearing God's voice. So I can't answer the question how you hear from God, because we all hear from him differently. But what I do know, it's really hard to hear from him if you have a lot of distractions. So if you're having trouble hearing from God, try to eliminate the distractions, whether it's phone, whether it's TV, whether it's a hobby, no matter what it is. It's really hard to hear when there's distractions. So anyway, that's my bit for this morning. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.